This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
The world's biggest cruise ship has set sail. I just showed Lisa a picture of it, and she started gagging.
I need a brown paper bag stat.
So you're afraid of really large objects?
Yes, I have megalophobia. One time I went for a really relaxing walk, and I love this podcast about just like learning random things. It could be at any topic. And one of them was about the Titanic and how it was built and stuff. And I started gagging on a trail and had to turn it off.
Really?
I was physically ill, even just listening to them describe what it took to build the Titanic.
So why don't buildings trip you out then? Like the building that we're in right now is 8 floors.
Yeah, I think it's more so objects on water or in the sky.
Moving objects, maybe?
Where I feel less safe. So yeah, Ryder did just show me this cruise ship.
The Wonder of the Seas. Let me tell you about this thing. It fits nearly 7,000 guests.
How does that even work scientifically? Like, I'll never get it.
And 2,300 staff. So nearly 10,000 people if it's sold out at once. I can't imagine even like boarding and unboarding. Like 10,000 people. You're like, oh, we're going to miss Portugal. Yeah. Everybody's taking too long to get off the boat.
You should see me when I'm on a plane.
And there's what, 100 people in there?
I'm like, hurry up. Get me off of this thing.
They must have more than one door, I would imagine, I guess. Anyway, they have 8 different neighborhoods on this boat, 20,000 real plants, 19 pools, a 10-deck high zip line, a monster movie screen, and even a skating rink.
I just don't understand why people go on cruises. You're going on a boat to go in the water? In a pool? Just go to a beach.
Yeah,
Do they get to go off the boat and for like a day?
Yeah, that's
and
like
walk around.
I've
never been on a cruise. I don't know how it works.
One of the main appeals of most cruises is that they'll stop at numerous different countries and locations. So you'll get to like just see a bunch of different places on one trip.
That's pretty cool.
Right? Yeah. And I think it's just like relaxing. The buffets are incredible, apparently.
Do you remember when COVID first became a thing and there was that cruise ship where everyone was sick on it and they weren't allowed off of it?
Yeah.
That's so terrifying.
Yeah.
Like you are having a good time until they're like, you can't leave.
Well, that was kind of the first like, oh my God, this COVID thing's real.
Yeah,
like that would have happened like 2 years ago almost exactly.
It was the cruise ship and then it was, what do you mean Tom Hanks has COVID? Those were the first two that forever will be burned in my memory.
Now, I've never been on a cruise ship. Hit us up at 780-784-7107 and let us know if you have and how you enjoyed it.
People that go on cruise ships love cruise ships. I don't think you just go once. It's either part of your personality or you've never done it.
Yeah, I think some people, it's just what they do on holiday every year.
That's their go-to. Scuba Steve wrote in saying, we did an Alaskan cruise. It was fantastic. There was about 4,000 people and 2,000 staff. That's pretty good. The best part is you travel at night when you're sleeping, so you waste 0 time, and the food was amazing. Okay.
Coming around a little bit?
Well, I'm still never going to do it because the actual size of a cruise ship scares me. Greg texted into 780-784-7107 saying, been on 2 cruises, had a terrible experience both times. After the first one, I thought I'd give it the benefit of the doubt and try again, but the second one was worse. Back then, there were no all-inclusive packages on the cruises, so you had to buy your own drinks and food on top of your plane tickets. Wait, you take a plane? Yeah, I guess, hey? To then get on the boat?
You just don't like traveling.
Got food poisoning on the second one because the food wasn't fresh. The affordable rooms were the size of a porta potty. I will never go on a cruise again. And like Ryder said, getting off the boat at certain ports was an absolute nightmare. Getting back on was even worse. If you weren't on time, they weren't waiting for you.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Like you got to fly home. I've even seen some videos of passengers that are just a little bit late and they're like running towards the boat as it's already set sail and like, too bad.
I feel like that's more embarrassing than when you'd be late for school and you'd be running for the bus. I'd
totally
way rather deal with that.
See, I'm all for Greg experiencing a cruise and then deciding it's not for him.
Right. And the benefit of the doubt. Let's try this one more time.
Sure, I respect that.
I feel that way. I've now been to Vegas like 5 times, and every time I'm like, this is the last time I'm coming here. But I'll always go back.
Benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt. I just need to know, was there room for Jack after all?
On the door?
On the door.
It was that part of the movie was like fiction.
How do you know? Were you there?
There is a picture on Edmonton's Reddit that's getting a lot of traction. It's a shot from Value Village of just a bunch of mason jars that they're charging $9.99 each for.
Okay.
And some of the comments sum up why this is so ridiculous. One says, why would I pay $10 for an empty jar when I can go get one filled with pasta sauce for $5? Very valid point.
Very valid point. Also, you can get those same mason jars from the dollar store.
For?
Well, even this is ridiculous, but like they're probably going for
$4.99, $3.99, something
I'd
like
say
that.
less than that.
Really?
But yeah, remember when the dollar store everything was $1? Like even that has inflation, but that's the way she goes.
Yeah, I get
For
that
sure.
things aren't going to cost what they did 10,
Yep.
15 years ago anywhere.
Right.
But yeah, somebody pointed out in the comment section that they've seen items that have the Dollarama sticker on them still, and Value Village is selling them for more money than the sticker shows that they were originally worth new.
Now, is this something that we should just get over? Because we could sit here and say, back in my day, in the 90s when I went to Value Village, I could get a jacket for $4. But
You could say the same about
that
cigarettes.
was 20 years ago.
Right.
So what?
Yeah, no, I just think the whole business model is what has people a little bit confused because they mainly run on donations, right? Like, I think almost everything in there was given to them. So the fact that the whole concept was intended to be a place where people could go to get cheap clothing, the percentage of the population that, was having a bit of a tight squeeze financially, that's where you would go to get your kids clothes before school, to get a winter jacket. And now they're pricing themselves that they're like this cool hip store.
Well, that's exactly it. It's taken off now on apps like TikTok where people are showing their thrifting hauls.
Yeah.
And they're going in and they're buying these items that do look really good. But it's justifying the establishment to be like, okay, we could charge a little bit more because people are coming in and they're buying bundles of our clothes.
Yeah.
And the clothes are in great shape.
I'm not saying that people that are like financially stable aren't allowed to shop there. I'm
Or
just saying
that
that
they
like
can't, or that they can't afford it. That's not what we're saying
No,
either.
no.
But it just, sometimes you see one item in there and you're like, really?
well, yeah, you look
This
at
much?
T-shirts and you're like, this is actually cheaper if I buy it new online and it'll be delivered to my house. Like, at what point do they try to, bring the prices down so that it is a bargain again, which is the entire point. Like, this text says, I saw those mason jars at Walmart and you could get 12 for $15.
We just got a text from Tim saying that he went to Goodwill for jeans, got a pair for $9. The T-shirts are $4 to $6, and then tried to get jeans at Value Village. They were $30. So Goodwill also has a really cool thing. I don't know if they do it all the time, but a friend of mine has 2 little ones, and she said she went there and they had this deal where you could get 20 items for $20 for your kids, like if they were
Awesome.
under a certain age. So there are places that are still affordable to shop for sure, but it is disheartening to see places that
Well, see, and some of those thrift shops are non-profit, so
Yes.
they're doing great for the community as well, whereas I think others are actual just businesses.
I do remember going into one and seeing a glass jar that was the same price as HomeSense. The exact same
Used.
price.
And
tag.
like, you don't
Used.
know, somebody might have taken a dump in that jar.
They probably did. And
I mean, why? We don't know,
we don't know.
but
The visual is not good. So we're going to move on.
we apologize.
Tupperware. There are people out there that just hand it out to their friends when they come over for dinner. I don't know. I almost feel like you got to start putting it in Ziplocs for people because you don't want to lose your Tupperware.
Some people are very passionate about it. Like I said, I've moved on, but you're a big fan. Tell us a little bit about what you know about Tupperware, Dan.
So Tupperware was created by Earl Tupper in 1942 and introduced to the public in 1946. In 2017, it had a value of $2.7 billion. So there's some serious cred there to its product that we all take for granted. And if you think about it, Tupperware is really like a baby. You know, you got to wash it, you got to take care of it, you got to handle it properly. You know, write your name on the Tupperware, but put it on a piece of tape. Don't write it directly on the Tupperware, and don't abuse it by just throwing it in the drawer and letting it have separation anxiety. And if somebody lends you their Tupperware, give it back. It's expensive stuff. I mean, even Oprah, I guess, if you go to her house and she sends you home with Tupperware and you don't return it, you don't get a repeat invitation.
Really?
Be careful. Yeah. And she's a billionaire.
See, I'm now onto the glassware for my leftovers.
So you can't even give out leftovers because your Tupperware is way too precious and expensive.
I'll have like one or two of the like cheap ones that I got from takeout that if I need to give them away.
Those ones.
Yeah. Those are for giveaways.
People. Yeah.
Sorry if that offended you.
I was just thinking of what Martha Stewart said about pumpkin spice. It's for basic bitches.
So is the glassware to keep leftovers? Is that what you're saying?
It's too bougie. It's a pretty good PSA. I didn't realize people were that passionate about their Tupperware. If you're getting something, like somebody brings over cookies, you got to return the Tupperware.
Not with the price of gas,
Well,
you don't.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I have so many mismatched Tupperwares from friends that have brought me stuff. Do I have to return all that? Do I have to do a tour? I can't afford to drop it off, like you said.
Yeah, I'd rather give you $3 when you drop it off for me not returning it.
5 simple words, $1,000. It's Ryder and Lisa's 1K wordplay.
All right, we got Nicole on the phone. Nicole, you get to choose your teammate, either Ryder or myself, and then whoever you choose will leave the room. And hopefully you have the same thought process as that person, because if you can match up these word associations, you win some money. Who is your teammate today?
All right, Ryder hasn't had a chance yet, so let's go with Ryder.
Okay, perfect.
Amazing. Okay, I'm stepping out of the room. Lisa, you go through your words.
Hey, make sure you can't hear us if the radio's on in the halls. Cover your ears, make some noise. All right, Nicole, let's do this. I have 5 words for you. The first one is whipped.
Which or whip?
Whipped.
Cream.
Baby.
Bottle.
Super.
Store.
Frozen.
Elsa.
Love that one. Scary.
Movie.
Whew. Okay, we're done. Come on in. Come on in.
How'd she do?
She did good.
Yeah?
Well, how are you feeling, Nicole? We've never played it right, so is there a lot of pressure? Do you feel like your mind kind of goes blank, or is it pretty simple to you?
Pretty simple.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this, Ryder. First word. If you can match it with what Nicole said, she wins $25. Whipped.
Cream.
That is correct. That's $25.
Yes, Nicole.
Second word. Baby.
Bottle.
That's another $25.
it?
Oh my gosh.
Yes, we're on the same page. I like this.
$50. Let's see if we can get to $1,000. Super.
Man?
Store. Come on.
Sorry, Nicole.
It's okay.
That's okay.
I feel like man was a really good answer, though. So
It was good.
I'm not going to lose sleep over this.
No. We still got 2 more chances to win $50. Frozen.
Ooh, Frozen. I feel like movie. No.
Elsa.
Okay.
So you kind of had the
Yeah,
same thought
page.
process,
Kinda.
whereas some people would have said food.
Yeah.
Last word. Come on.
Let's get her $75.
Scary.
Movie.
That's correct.
Yes. All right. We'll take that, Nicole. We
We'll
got
take
$75 coming your way.
Sounds great.
That was so close.
Yeah, we were quite close,
Dude,
eh?
that's pretty wild. Congratulations, Nicole. You picked up
Thanks.
$75 is yours.
Awesome. Thank you.
What would make a beautiful name if it didn't mean what it meant?
Andy wrote in saying urethra.
Good answer.
It's a really good answer. Put it on the board. Family Feud style. Good answer. Good answer. The number one answer rolling in to 780-784-7107 is diarrhea.
Diarrhea. Yeah,
Dia.
the Ias at the end.
They definitely help.
They sound nice. Like malaria. Beautiful name.
Very pretty. I thought of one because what was the one that you originally said when we were...
Felony.
Felony. What about juvie?
Cool name.
Really cool name.
Omelet.
Omelet's so pretty.
Right?
Yeah, I like it.
Calorie. This text to 780-784-7107 suggests insomnia. Beautiful names.
Very, very pretty.
What about violence?
Instead of violet?
Well, just violence. Isn't that a nice name for a girl? My daughter, Violence?
It's just like really hard to dissociate it with the actual
I know. You have
definition.
to really try to break it.
Yeah, I don't know.
780-784-7107. You have a suggestion for us? Is it appropriate?
It sure is.
Okay, what is it?
Is it a cigarette?
Cigarette as the
No,
name?
he's calling
wait.
about
What about I'm sorry.
No problem. We're talking about names that would sound really good for a kid if they didn't have another meaning, like arson or areola.
or diarrhea.
Or cloud. Or bolt.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I actually liked his first suggestion.
Me too. I thought it was
Cigarette.
hilarious. And then I was like, oh, he's calling in for those Alanis Morissette tickets we gave away earlier.
Flemmy.
Ooh, phlegm.
Cool name.
Phlegm is a strong name.
How about yeast?
Can't get on board with yeast.
Okay.
No.
Phobia.
Like I said, very difficult to disassociate with the actual term.
Okay, this one I could go either way with. Plague.
Oh, plague is pretty.
Thank you for all the suggestions. To 780-784-7107. Listen, if he can call himself The Weekend, we should be able to call a kid diarrhea.
Yeah.
You know?
And juvie. I love juvie. I'm writing that one down in the notes section of my phone.
Old people working well into their retirement years seems to be a thing, especially in high profile positions. You look at Vladimir Putin right now, starting a war. He's nearly 70 years old.
Yeah, why haven't you retired?
Just retire, and we cannot have this happening.
I feel like old people get bored. My dad retired decently young. He was part of the city of Edmonton for so long.
Sure.
And it only took him a couple weeks till he was working again.
Yeah.
Why? I can't wait to retire, and I'm 32. I'm counting down the days. Every day I check my bank account and my savings, and I'm like, okay, how much longer? I'm totally kidding. I love my job. But you know what I mean. I just don't get why some people are still working past 70.
Yeah, Joe Biden is 79 years old. Trump is 75.
And they're still dressing up, going to events, holding press conferences, speeches. Why?
Well, you're exhausted. And with the three that we just named, borderline senile at times, with Trump, with Biden, with Putin, just retire. It's time for you to go to a golf course and only play 9 because your back's sore, and then go watch Judge Judy. And
you're literally describing your own dad right now.
Have some soft food for dinner because it's easier to digest. That's where you're at.
Sounds amazing to me. But at the same time, there are a lot of really famous actors that I don't want them to retire because they are so talented. I want to see them in every film.
Harrison Ford just finished up the filming of the new Indiana Jones movie. He's 79. Now, and he's doing an action movie.
I remember watching Indiana Jones all the time as a kid, and I loved it. And I recently watched a scene, and hi, Harry.
Did it hold up? Oh, Harry was hot.
I didn't realize how attracted to him I am now. But I don't know if I will be in this movie. How old is he?
79. Did you hear what it's called?
No.
Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Memory, I think is...
That is not what it's called.
No, it's Indiana Jones and the Last Jell-O in the Home. On the cart.
No, it's not.
Oh, sorry. This is it. Those were just rumored to be the names. Indiana Jones and the Damn Kids on My Lawn. Do
you have any more?
Indiana Jones and the bingo game starts at 5.
Ryder and Lisa. Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.